Today on Voidstar Lab, 3D printed blasters and tactical gear. When it comes to the rise of 3D printing, no field has been disrupted as thoroughly as the Nerf battlefield. Homemade blasters were once post-apocalyptic-ass contraptions made of PVC pipe and clothespins. Nowadays, 3D printed blasters don't just hold their own against the name brand. Homemades throw modded toys off Hell in a Cell, plummeting 16 feet through an announcer's table. Shilling time, I sell Nerf tactical gear under the name Voidstar Combat Sports, and if you use the discount code ZachIsASellout, you'll get $5 off the best mag holders in the hobby. You don't need a Nerf arms dealer to gear up. All you need is a well-maintained 3D printer and a can-do attitude. Personally, I'm too busy printing stuff for next week's episode to run off a mind-blowing Nerf arsenal, so let's get in my self-driving car and visit someone who already has one. Welcome to my futuristic self-driving car. Okay, car?
Like, whoa. Were you here the whole time?
Laying a course to BaamNYC's mind-blowing Nerf arsenal.
Far out, man. Navigating to. Like, what was I doing?
What? God. Cyber doobie.
No.
Goddamn Elon Musk. Setting a bad example.
My USB sticky icky.
As I was saying, take me to Baam.
I heard you the first time, party pooper. ETA. Whenever I feel like it.
For the uninitiated, here's a quick primer on the most common Nerf blaster operating systems: springers, flywheels. Springers store energy in, you guessed it, some form of elastic contrivance. First, you prime the blaster to compress the spring. Then when you pull the trigger, you release the plunger, which is sent hurtling down the plunger tube under spring tension. Pressure builds up behind the dart until it's sent down the barrel and flung onto your opponent's face. Priming a springer can take some muscle. After all, it's your own compressed elbow grease that sends the dart flying. Upside, reliable, consistent power. Downside, you need to prime a springer after every shot, so you can only fire as fast as you can pump. Also, mechanical stress will eventually break them. It's a good thing we can print spare parts. Flywheelers are electric blasters. These usually have two triggers. You hold the rev trigger to send power to two counter-rotating flywheels, and the firing trigger will push a dart into the danger zone. Sometimes these two triggers are combined into one, like within this Viper. Flywheelers can fire as fast as you can get a dart into the flywheels, so they can be full auto, burst fire, or semi-auto. Also, you can wield them one-handed. All the power comes from a LiPo battery pack, so flywheels won't tire your little baby arms. Downsides, flywheels are loud as hell, they're not as consistent as springers, and when they fail, they blow the f*** up.
Brooks driving the car. This is all phony.
No, that's not Brooks' arm, this is a self-driving car. Time skip. 3D printed blasters have become incredibly sophisticated. You can download plans for high-powered snipers, break-action revolvers, advanced select-fire pistols, and even foam-flinging P90s, all using free files and accessible parts. It all starts with the models. You can download printable STL files for everything you see in today's episode and make them at your leisure. Caveat, you gotta pay for some of the models and you will need to buy some non-printable parts. We can't talk about 3D printed Nerf blasters without talking about Captain Slug. Slug is this super genius mechanical engineer whose purpose on Earth is to turn food and water into the highest quality springer designs. His Caliburn and Talon Claw are some of the most well-regarded 3D printed blasters in the hobby. In fact, the Caliburn basically brought magazines to high-performance nerfing and sort of popularized the entire field of 3D printed blasters. Slug has also built some pretty wild lower-powered blasters, including a slick lever-action rifle, some hand cannons, and whatever the hell this thing is. Slug's models are well-designed, they're battle-tested, and they're all free, so if you're thinking of doing a little snipey, you really need a reason not to use a Talon Claw or a Caliburn.
Time to shoot some darts! Time to shoot darts somewhere else!
But not all springers are slugs. The Argus II is a fork of the Caliburn with a futuristic styling. This chimera is kinda esoteric and sketchy, but if you want some bullpup action, look into the links. Then there's the Spring Thunder, which is a pump-action shotgun with reusable shells that are also 3D printed. Shells are strictly worse than magazines, but come on, you're not using a shell-ejecting pump shotgun because it's optimal. You're using it because... There are also some spicy Springer sidearm STLs like the Spamp. This is a conversion kit for the Nerf Falcon Fire that turns it into a mag-fed tactical pistol. Speaking of tactics, I'm curious how many of you are Nerfers who found yourselves watching a 3D printing video, and how many of you are 3D printing nerds who found yourself watching a Nerf video. Leave me a comment and let me know the cut of your jib. The JSPB Urban Ops was one of the first printable sidearms around, and it continues to distinguish itself by integrating a bottle opener and a fidget spinner. Then there's Carney Rex's Flintlock Blaster, which isn't that strong, but yar! No matter how appropriate it is, please don't pirate this blaster. When it comes to electronic flywheels, Project FDL is the one to beat. Their eponymous flagship blaster, the Foam Dart Launcher 3, is an advanced modular flywheeler that they release under an open source hardware license. The FDL has a versatile select fire system, powerful brushless motors, a great design, and is a smooth operator. Project FDL also likes hydro dipping their blasters for some reason. Here's an FDL with baked bean camo. I don't know. The FDL's reliability and performance mean that you're going to see a lot of them, and you'll hear their distinctive boot up sound often between rounds. The Griffin is another free and open brushless blaster similar to the FDL that's got a lot of history and refinement behind it. Rad Blasters is blowing minds with their pretty fly blasters, which add a second set of flywheels for more power! If you want the cutting edge, it doesn't get any edgier than the Bulwark, a P90 style bullpup blaster with an innovative horizontal magazine. Another interesting project is the Nerf Arduino board, which combines an Arduino with all of the electronics you need to drive the high-powered motors and solenoids of a competitive Nerf blaster. Flywheel pistols have smaller flywheels and get lower performance, but they can pack the same batteries and firing mechanisms as their big brothers. This is the Viper, a slick break-action revolver with handy speed loader cylinders. This is the Desert Pigeon, which is not a Desert Eagle, but it is a semi-auto mag-fed blaster that looks like one. Nerf darts and the Deagle's Action Express rounds are both 50 cal, so it's kinda authentic. Then there's the Woozy, which packs a full auto blaster into a snack-sized package, and just like the real deal, will empty a magazine uncomfortably quickly. Speaking of mags, you can 3D print those too. Competitive Nerfers almost all use half-length darts, and there are a ton of high-quality mag models that accommodate them. There are two types of half-length mags, the Katana, used in Dart Zone Pro blasters and some older homemades, and the Talon, which is a more modern design that's compatible with pretty much every other enthusiast blaster. You can print high-quality versions of both. Kathanhas and Katobus are printable Katana mags, and if your blaster takes Talons, you can print Tanlins, Vorpal mags, and Tel.0s by yours truly. Remember, you can only print mags as big as your bed, so if you have a small printer, you might be better off just buying them. You're gonna need a lot of mags. Some Nerf ninjas can get away with carrying just like 50 darts into battle, but I like to fire non-stop to remind the enemies I'm not f***ing around. One advantage to printing your own mags is that you don't need to save them in a dump bag when you reload. Just yeet them into oblivion, and if someone steps on it, salvage the spring and print another copy. But printing blasters isn't the end. You can print stuff to put on your blasters. Tactical stuff. All 3D printed blasters use the same Picatinny rail system as airsoft guns and real steel firearms, which means that there are a ton of compatible tactical accessories. Tactic compatible. You can mount a GoPro right to your blaster to capture your terrible aim on film. Most blasters lack iron sight, so may I recommend this set? It features a pair of notorious hand gestures to put some maymays into every shot. Put some rails on your rails to add some tactics to your tactics. Add a second scope on an angled rail so you can aim with both eyes. Here's a cover plate for your side rails that show the world how small your peepee is. And a tactical can of dip. Stop laughing!
Sorry, cut. Stop.
This is a serious show, bro. Finally, the ultimate rail accessory, the tactical banana holder. Special mention to the Mistress Key, a single-shot Mega Blaster that attaches to a Picatinny rail. I've seen a few blasters for your blasters, but this is the only blaster I would put on my blaster. That Mega Dart is perfect for those games with special classes that can only be killed by Megas, and for surprising idiots who think it's a scope. Finally, you'll need some tactical gear to tactically schlep your crap. My Warp Saya and the free version of Blitz Saya are mag holders that securely carry your ammo reserves, but you could also print fast mags, which aren't as rugged, but they are easier to print. You can find holsters for many common sidearms like the Triad and the Big Shock, along with one-size-fits-all blaster retaining systems like the Holdster. All of these come in belt versions, so you don't need to buy anything else, but if you're a badass motherfucker with 35 entire dollars, you can get yourself a Molly vest to open up a tactical treasure trove.
Not only are there tons of nerfing specific molly accessories, but you can also use gear designed by real amateur operators for cosplaying at protests. On the Nerf side, I designed this collapsible ramrod for clearing jams, and this cyber-style knife that you absolutely must print in soft floppy TPU or you will kill a baby. Because I love you, I have open sourced my tactical saw blade holder, so you too can be a zombie-slaying ninja weirdo. But wait, there's more! Attach some SWAT-style dart holders for the intimidation factor. Stick another GoPro to your shoulder. Man, people hear modular and they just think stick a GoPro to it, huh? Spice up your combat with a tactical spice rack. Here's a grenade holder. You'll never be allowed to Nerf with that group again, and you'll probably go to federal prison, but it'll be one hell of a story. Finally, serious talk. Never ever print blasters or blaster accessories in black, olive, or tan. Don't even mess around with realistic blasters in your own backyard. Some chatty Cathy is gonna see you, panic, cops, bang, ugh. To learn more about colorful 3D printable blasters, drop and give me 20 recruit, then hit the description. There's links there to some awesome 3D printed Nerf groups, and of course, yours truly's Etsy store. Remember, use discount code Zach is a sellout for $5 off the best mag holders around. Buy multiple copies of literally everything, please. I'm on my last bag of precious toilet paper. Did this video set your sights on a new blaster project? Do you already use any of these models in your own Nerf battles? Let me know. Snipe that subscribe button and dump a mag on that notification bell. Dump wherever you want, it's a free country. Anyways, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you on the battlefield.